Hello and welcome to a Let's Play of Fallout Tactics. I'd like to say a few words before I'll start this Let's Play. First, for those who don't know anything about the game, it's basically using the same engine as Fallout 1 and 2. It's not a role-playing game though, it's mainly combat focused, but it uses this. Actually, I think it uses the skills more extensively than the actual role-playing games, but dialogue won't be important here. That doesn't mean charisma isn't important, but the focus is combat. Secondly, it's a team-based game. You start the first mission with 3 characters, even though you will make your own character, but it is not a solo game. If you start with 3, I think you can go up to 6, and all the host enemies and encounters are made with that in mind, that you have a lot of people with different kind of specialties that you can deploy, and that's how you survive. But enough of that. The thing that I want to say is how I'm going to make this Let's Play, and this will be a solo Let's Play. I will be using my character and only my character. And it will be, the attack skills will be unarmed, throwing, and doctor. I think it might be unarmed, doctor, and sneaking. But you get the basic idea. Heavy reliance on unarmed. I'll probably rely throwing as a secondary weapon, and that's it. Those who know the game know that this is going to be a gigantic pain in the ass to play, and I have never played this game through with this kind of character, let alone with a solo on this kind of character, so I have no idea if I can even play this through with my character. If I absolutely can't, and I die like 50 times against an opponent, a situation that I simply can't pass, I'll fold and use some other system. But I'll try as far as possible to make it using unarmed, aided by grenades. So this will be hard, and I'm not doing this to show off my super skills. I don't know if I can make it to the end of the game using this character. I'll give it my best. This will also not, because of that, this will not be a pretty Let's Play. I'll be abusing every AI, stupidity or glitch I can think of to win the fights and the situations. I won't be cheating outright, but I will be using every underhanded and AI stupidity abusing trick I can in order to survive, because I can't do it otherwise. I don't. Even now, thinking about some of the enemies I'm going to face, I have no idea how I'm going to kill them with this character. I honestly don't. So, with that said, let's get started with the actual intro.
An American army is fighting for
1941, a date which will live.
Note that the first atomic bomb was dropped on Hiroshima.
These forces met their match.
War never changes. It was the inevitable result of the path humanity had chosen. Everyone who entered into the conflict expected victory. Everyone was optimistic. But as the hostilities escalated, optimism faded, and society began to collapse. The great vaults were built to house the wealthy, the powerful, the influential, and those deemed necessary to their survival. Inside, resources and technology were stockpiled, a final defense against the coming Holocaust, With the past behind them and the present destroyed, they looked to the future. The sturdy Vault Zero was to be the nucleus of the Vault network, housing the greatest leaders, artists, and scientists. The inhabitants of Vault Zero were to reunite the Vaults and lead the people to a new life, a new world. But after the bombs, the world would be a harsh one. To ensure the creation of a post-nuclear utopia, the Vault dwellers would need help. Machinery was constructed to tame a land hardened by the ravages of war, then tempered by nuclear winter. But plans were barely in place when the first missiles left the silos. During the destruction, communication between the Vaults ceased. Entire Vaults were lost. Those that survived were on their own. Not all Vaults succumbed to the machinations of war. On North America's west coast, one group of military Vault dwellers emerged almost unscathed. They surveyed the wasteland and squared their shoulders for the task ahead. These dedicated survivors salvaged the technology from the Vaults, technology that was studied, replicated, and fiercely guarded. For they knew that while their power came from numbers, their future lay in scientific knowledge. In time, they formed the Brotherhood of Steel. The Brotherhood used their knowledge to drive back the atrocities of the wasteland, proclaiming themselves the technological saviors of mankind. They scoured the land in search of more technology, raiding mutant camps, bandit towns, and the broken remains of other Vaults. But even they could not keep pace with the high tolls demanded by life in the wasteland. The Brotherhood found themselves at odds with their need for new blood versus their code of technological secrecy. The debate was lengthy. Finally, the Elders ruled against sharing the technology with outsiders, convinced that they would endure as they had before. Further discussion was discouraged, and the Elders ordered the minority on a mission across the wastes. Super mutants, the foot soldiers of a conquered army, had been forced into a retreat across the mountainous barrier to the east. The Brotherhood constructed airships and dispatched the minority to track down and assess the extent of the remaining super mutant threat. But disaster struck while crossing the Great Mountains. A great storm gripped the main airship and flung it far from its course. The mighty ship was badly damaged. The smaller sections were torn from the main craft, never to be seen again. Many of the expedition's leaders were lost to the winds. The fraction of the crew that still survived struggled to keep their ship aloft before finally crashing on the outskirts of a once thriving metropolis, a city once called Chicago. Broken, scattered, and scarred, they took stock of the situation and once again squared their shoulders to the task ahead. The Brotherhood had much to offer the surrounding villages. They traded advanced medicines in exchange for food and labor. They traded protection from bandits in exchange for new recruits. In time, their ranks began to swell. Separated by distance and ideology from the main Brotherhood forces, the minority was free to forge a new Brotherhood of Steel, one that reflected the ideals they had strived for all along. However, one's future in the wasteland is never certain, for an old power has awakened, also bent on making this land its own. Life in the Brotherhood is about to change.